For more than a century, James Clerk Maxwell's equations have stood as the foundation of modern physics. They describe how electricity, magnetism, and light are all connected through a unified field theory. Every electric circuit, every wireless signal, and every motor relies on Maxwell's principles. But what if one part of his work was misunderstood, forgotten, or even hidden? A missing piece that could completely change how we understand energy? This question has resurfaced because of one man, Elon Musk. Known for pushing the boundaries of innovation, Musk has transformed industries from electric cars to space exploration. He has often mentioned how physics guides his problem-solving approach, and how he studies from first principles. But recently, whispers have spread through the scientific community that Musk's next big project may not rely on traditional energy sources at all. They claim that Elon Musk may have revisited an old concept, something buried deep within Maxwell's original formulations. A concept that could potentially unlock self-sustaining energy. To understand why this idea is causing so much excitement, we have to go back to the mid-1800s. During that era, Maxwell wasn't just writing equations, he was building a framework for the entire electromagnetic universe. His four famous equations describe how electric and magnetic fields interact, propagate, and influence each other. But those equations came from a much larger set, a complex system that many physicists at the time found too abstract. Later, Oliver Heaviside simplified Maxwell's work, condensing it into the four equations we know today. While this made them easier to use, some historians argue that Heaviside's simplifications might have removed subtle but powerful ideas from Maxwell's original vision. Specifically, concepts related to potential energy fields and ether-like mediums, phenomena that modern physics eventually abandoned. Yet, some researchers have long speculated that within those lost ideas could lie the secret to extracting limitless energy from the environment itself. Energy that don't need burning fuel or charging batteries. Energy that could, theoretically, power itself. This is where the speculation around Musk begins to build. Tesla, one of Musk's companies, is already the global leader in battery technology and sustainable energy. From lithium-ion innovation to solar energy systems, the company's progress has been extraordinary. However, insiders claim that Musk has been investing heavily in research areas that go beyond known energy science. Projects that deal with quantum field fluctuations, resonant electromagnetic fields, and zero-point energy. These topics sound like science fiction, but they all connect, in some way, back to Maxwell's original mathematical framework. Could it be that Musk's engineers have rediscovered an overlooked principle within Maxwell's theories? A principle that allows an electromagnetic system to sustain its own energy loop indefinitely? In physics, that would mean violating the conservation of energy, something that shouldn't be possible. But then again, innovation often begins with challenging what's impossible. Throughout history, we've seen many ideas once considered absurd become reality. Flying machines, wireless communication, reusable rockets, all once dismissed by experts. So it's not surprising that whispers about a self-powered car under development at Tesla have drawn attention. A car that don't rely on charging stations or external power. A car that recharges itself continuously using electromagnetic resonance or field interaction. It's an idea that connects directly to the deep foundation Maxwell built 160 years ago. Now, let's look at what's actually known and what's speculation. Officially, Tesla has not announced any self-powered prototype. Their focus remains on improving energy density, reducing weight, and developing next-generation battery chemistries. Yet, leaks and rumors from individuals claiming to have seen early prototypes tell another story. They speak of experimental vehicles equipped with advanced resonance systems that can maintain charge equilibrium far longer than normal batteries. They mention field coils designed in configurations not seen in conventional electronics. They even claim internal Tesla memos reference M-field systems, which some interpret as a nod to Maxwell. Now, these claims are unverified. But the timeline is interesting. Around 2021, several of Musk's public comments began hinting at a new kind of physics-based breakthrough. He tweeted cryptic statements about energy symmetry, fields of abundance, and nature's hidden balance. Most people ignored them or thought they referred to new battery innovations. But some physicists noticed that these terms align closely with how Maxwell described energy distribution across electromagnetic fields. This is where the dots start to connect. If Musk or his research team revisited Maxwell's original writings, not the simplified versions, they might have noticed relationships modern textbooks overlook. Maxwell's original work included 20 equations expressed in quaternion mathematics, a complex mathematical language that represents multidimensional interactions. Habicide reduced these to 4 vector equations, practical for engineers but less conceptually rich. Within those removed relationships, there were terms that described scalar potentials, invisible energy gradients that could theoretically be tapped. Imagine fields of energy all around us, not visible, but real, constantly vibrating at quantum levels. In standard physics, these fields are considered balanced, meaning their net energy is zero. But some theorists believe asymmetries can exist, regions where energy density differs, allowing extraction. This concept isn't accepted by mainstream science because it challenges our current understanding of thermodynamics. But that doesn't mean it's wrong. It may simply mean our tools for measuring and interpreting it are still too primitive. Now, think about Musk's mindset. He's not a man who waits for consensus. He acts first, tests hypotheses, and challenges systems. If he believed there was even a small chance that Maxwell's deeper work could reveal new energy potential, he'd explore it. And he has the resources to do it, teams of physicists, access to advanced computing, and facilities that can simulate electromagnetic behavior at atomic scales. Combine that with AI-based analysis, and patterns hidden for centuries could suddenly become visible. That's what makes this story compelling. It's not about believing in conspiracy or pseudoscience. It's about connecting logical dots between historic theory and modern experimentation. In 1865, Maxwell himself wrote about how the field is the seat of the energy. It meant that space itself, even empty space, carries energy. Quantum physics later confirmed that vacuum energy does exist. The problem has always been harnessing it. If Musk's research team has found a mathematical or physical pathway to extract even a fraction of that energy efficiently, it could change everything. Transportation would never be the same. Power grids could become obsolete. And humanity would enter a new era of decentralized, sustainable energy. It sounds unbelievable, but again, every paradigm shift once did. The interesting part is how this aligns with Musk's long-term goals. His mission with Tesla, SpaceX, and Solar City has always revolved around sustainable energy and multiplanetary survival. For Mars colonization, for example, self-sustaining power sources are essential. Solar energy on Mars is weaker due to its distance from the Sun. Batteries alone won't suffice for long-term missions. But a self-powered system based on field resonance could theoretically operate anywhere, Earth, Mars, or beyond. That's why some analysts think this Maxwell connection isn't a coincidence but strategy. They believe Musk's engineers are investigating fundamental physics to achieve what current technology cannot. A few independent scientists have also noticed peculiar patent filings that might support this theory. Some Tesla and SpaceX-related patents include unusual electromagnetic coil designs and energy recapture systems. While officially described in conventional terms, the geometry and field language used in those patents hint at deeper experimentation. The public versions are simplified, as patent law allows companies to conceal proprietary details under broad technical language. So while we can't say for sure that these patents relate to Maxwell's hidden principles, the possibility remains. Even more intriguing are Musk's comments about wanting to make energy infinite and free Samba. He said this during a 2022 interview when discussing humanity's long-term future. It was brushed off as a philosophical remark. But when viewed through this Maxwell lens, it takes on new meaning. If energy could truly be drawn from environmental fields, it would indeed be nearly infinite and cost-free once the technology matured. That's the dream of every scientist since Maxwell, to find a bridge between theory and application. And maybe, just maybe, that bridge is being built right now inside one of Musk's research facilities. We can only imagine what kind of prototypes might be under development. Experimental devices designed to create electromagnetic equilibrium loops. Chambers where resonant frequencies maintain power without external input. Systems that mimic nature's balance rather than fight it. It's a fascinating idea, one that merges historical physics with futuristic ambition. But as exciting as it sounds, science demands proof. Without verifiable data, it remains speculation. Even if Musk's team were working on such principles, confirming them publicly would be revolutionary and potentially disruptive. The implications for global energy industries, economics, and geopolitics would be massive. For that reason alone, if such research exists, it would make sense for it to remain confidential for now. And that leads us to an essential question: what would motivate someone like Elon Musk to hide such a discovery, even temporarily?